I'm not feeling well, but I'm going to try to do some videos today. I want to put it just in the description a George Carlin clip. And he talks about how this country is run by rich corporations. So every time we're trying to get something done, we are fighting that. We have an economy based on workers. And I said something like that in the previous video, but it's true. It's the idea that our country will not be successful if we only have workers. We were successful in the past because we had people who produce things. We are a country that comes up with ideas. And I think we know that as Americans, but I think as much as we know it, we forget it. So the big corporations want to turn us into workers, but they forget we are a country of producers. We produce things, we manufacture, we come up with ideas. So somehow along the way, I think businesses felt that to keep getting people to work would be the best way for them to be successful. But the best way for us to be successful as a country is to keep coming up with new ideas and to make sure those ideas get to market so that they will be improved upon. And that's my point. This whole system that this gang stalking created in my life is the idea that they don't want me to be anything but a worker. And they'll take my ideas and they think they can do a better job at it. It's not. I said this privately, and I think I may have said it in a video, but I'm going to say it again. I love eBay and I love secondhand things. And it was such a successful thing that when companies started to mass produce the idea of selling secondhand, it destroyed retail. Because the idea isn't for us to keep just recirculating what we always have. It's to circulate what you have, but come up with new things. And that is how you keep the economy going, because it's a continual cycle. Just using the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again isn't really a continuous cycle. You have to keep having new things, use it, recycle. New stuff, use it, recycle. And that's what I've been saying. They take it to be offensive because they don't want to hear new ideas and they don't want to hear that they're wrong. So I want to include the George Carlin clip so that you guys can hear a different perspective. So really what I think, and the reason I love eBay, is the idea that people like me, we buy new things, we buy old things. We recycle both. If I just kept recycling old stuff, it wouldn't help the economy. But we help the economy because we're getting new things that come in. But there were things that you missed the first time. So you say, oh, wait a minute. I love that top. Where'd you get that top? Oh, I love that such and such. Oh, I saw that someplace. Let me get it. I didn't get it the first time, but now I get to wear it the second time around. And that's part of this. It's always keeping things moving. And when companies don't want that to happen and they just want a society full of workers, we're not getting new ideas because they can't come up with all the new ideas, and they can't steal everyone's new idea because ultimately the worker won't have any new ideas because we're exhausted, we're tired. But the answer to that, in the clip, George Carlin talks about it, but I'm going to say my answers. The solution to that is for us to vote. To make sure we elect people who feel that we're more than just workers. We're more. And they kept talking, when they were talking out loud in my apartment, about worker bees. Because in their minds, they think that they're queen bees. They're not. They're not. So the idea is to vote. The other big thing I want to talk about is this. I'm not going to get too much into politics, but I'm going to say my opinions. They said I give my opinions freely, so why should I stop? I'm going with Biden. I don't understand how Democrats, we make a plan and then everyone starts to do his or her own thing. No, you don't make a plan and say, I'm going with someone and supporting someone. And then all of a sudden, everyone starts doing their own things. This is what I dislike about this last minute changing things. If you feel something strongly as I feel about voting for Democrats, and I feel it as strongly as ever now as I did before, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm voting for Biden. And let me just show you guys this. This is how I feel, and I'm going to use this as a thumbnail. This is how I feel. I'm going with Biden and Harris. Thank you for watching.